Good evening. I'm Mr. David Lynette, Kingsford High School Principal. On behalf of Bryan Township Schools and Kingsford High School and our great music program, welcome. As I promised, tonight's performance will showcase the talent of our Kingsford High School Concert Chorale for this holiday program.
Good evening, I'm Mr. Arianaki, Kingsford High School Assistant Principal. Before we begin, we'd like to recognize a few folks that make tonight possible. Mrs. Maxie Nowak, Mr. Mark Rose, Mr. Jacob Barnaby, Mrs. Crystal Hogan, and finally all the parents that made tonight happen. We would also like to thank our music boosters who continue to financially support our music programs and for all the additional support they provide for our students and programs. They are always looking for volunteers to continue their mission of support. If you're interested in helping out with the music boosters, they have a table set up right out there in the library.
And I would also like to extend our deepest gratitude to the Temple Novicus Family Foundation. Thanks for their incredible generosity. Our choir room was refurbished this fall with a $100,000 donation. This is just a part of their $200,000 donation that they've contributed to our music department over the past 3 years. Their commitment to the arts at Kingsford High School and our entire Bryan Township School District is truly inspiring, and we're sincerely grateful for your ongoing support. And now, without further delay, I want to present to you the Kingsford High School Concert Chorale under the direction of Mr. Kurt Rogan.
everyone, welcome to our KHS winter concert. So, our first selection was a gospel piece entitled Children Go Where I Send Thee, and it featured Jackie Matante on bass, Jonathan Ryan on congas, and Tim Monlove on piano. Riley Jack and Tim are both middle schoolers. So, I'm going to let them go so they can go home, because they just did a full concert and then played this. So, you guys are free to go, but I would be missed if I did not focus our soloists. We first had Miss Jade Miller, who finished and ended the song. Miss Daniel Lucas, who had the solo. And then, of course, we had Miss Randy Sink, who did the rapping. So, the reason I decided to program that piece is we did an invitational at NMU with a clinician from Virginia, and she talked a lot about gospel music, and they were really influenced by the gospel and spiritual music. So I had this song, thought about doing it, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's a really good way to start the concert kind of on a high, ready to go energy. This next song, so Jonathan can go back up. Bye Jack, bye Tim, thank you. Give him another round of applause. Speaking of Northern Michigan University, that is where I had the privilege of going to school. And our next song is actually written by my choir director's late husband. So this song is entitled Merry Christmas to You All. It's just a quick little round by William Denning. And yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you all with a bright and cheerful call. Merry Christmas to you all with a bright and cheerful call. Hi-ho, let it ring and echo ring. Hi-ho, Merry Christmas to you all. 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 Hi-ho, let it ring and echo ring. Hi-ho, hi-ho, Merry Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas to you all.
So that song was written by the late William Denning. His instructions say to sing measures 1 through 8 and then sing it S-T-A-B and then add nutmeg. So, and then nutmeg, but. Our next song is entitled Al Nananita Nana. This is a typical Spanish carol, so this will be all in Spanish, which has been quite the challenge. And it is arranged by Norman Luboff and is completely a cappella, so no piano, no nothing. They are all on their own.
Anita,
translation for Ala Lanita Nana, it is essentially talking about the Savior's birth and how they are, basically how he was born, he's in the manger, very similar to the song O Little Town of Bethlehem. At this time, I'm going to invite our Boosters Club, and we will, actually, my bad, we're doing after Carol the Bells. Sorry about that, Boosters. All right, this is gonna be Carol the Bells, so we sing this one probably every single year. It has become a standard classic in choral music, so we will be singing Carol of the Bells. At this time, I'm asking for the members of the concert crowd who are not in chamber choir to please head into the front row. And I will now be reading a message from our Boosters Club. So, thank you for supporting our Flitter music students and attending tonight's music program. We couldn't have been successful without the support of our Music Boosters. Music Boosters is a group of parents and friends who love music and our school community. They have recently purchased and donated a piano, drum kits, components for a new music filing system, the choir banner you see here, and they purchased part of the new marching drums. And every year they provide scholarships for students who attend programs like Blue Lake and Botawagama. They are continuously fundraising and working on ways to save for new uniforms and providing support where needed. Currently, they are working on the annual spaghetti dinner and are coordinating donations for the infamous raffles. Tickets will be available soon. You can see the insert in your program, like date, time, all of those details. And their next meeting is January 6th at 5:30 in the KHS boardroom. At this time, our Boosters members are present and they will be passing donation buckets for a free little donation. Thank you guys for all of your support. So they'll be passing those around, and really our Boosters organization here is one of the many reasons why our music program can be successful. They've been super welcoming, and they're just an absolutely great group of people. So they'll be passing those around, and we are going to sing, in front of you guys, we have the Chamber Singers. The Chamber Singers is a group I created when I started here because I noticed I had some kids that were feeling really challenged by the music we were doing in concert crowd. But then I had students that were like, we want to do more music. And as someone who, as a music teacher, when people are saying, we want to do more music, I gotta provide it. So this group meets every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 when they're on time. And they rehearse music that goes up to 12 parts. If you notice, I think we have 13. That's what my eyes say. We have 13 and they sing 12 parts. So this song they're singing, a lot of them are one part on their own, all alone. But this first one is a song titled Mary Did You Know? It was popularized by a cappella group named Pentatonics, and they will be singing it right now. Mrs. Crystal Hogan and Mrs. Sandy Sullivan to the stage. So, if you were at the middle school concert, Mrs. Crystal Hogan and Mrs. Sandy Sullivan stepped into a company, and they're accompanying us on this piece for the high school concert. Our longtime accompanist, Miss Jan Van Gass, is just having some medical issues, so for the time being, she's taking a break. But we've been super lucky to have Mrs. Crystal Hogan, Mrs. Sandy Sullivan step in, and it's been a tremendous help. Our next song is entitled Tundra by Olielo. Tundra is about the climate, the vast, snowy emptiness that is very similar to some places in the UP. It kind of reminds me of home. I'm from Cali, by the way. All the way up north. So it kind of reminds me of home. So I thought this would be a really good challenge for them. And it will include soloist Gracie Hilliard and Mackenzie Guy and Sandy Sullivan and Chris Hogan on the piano. Another round of applause for Gracie and Mackenzie. This is some really exciting. This is stuff. I think when I was looking up recordings, I only found one other high school that did it, and they had about 30 more singers with them. So they did an absolutely amazing job. At this time, I would like to invite my section leaders forward. And if you are not a section leader, you can leave unless you are Mackenzie, then you are playing the flute. So, we have had a tradition, at least for the last 2 years, that the section leaders do a quartet. I wanted to mention, since we're here, my section leader quartet last year, the group made up of Hayden, Braden Antela, Holly Acoustic, and Ryan. They performed the quartet solo ensemble, and it states they received an exemplary award, which one is the top award our WSMA organization gives out. They are the first in the vocal program's history to get that award. So now this group gets to fill their shoes and hopefully keep the legacy going. They're an absolutely great group. And I want to welcome on stage Jean Panic. She will be our accompanist for the rest of the concert crowd songs. Welcome, Jean. This next song, the quartet song, is entitled Hine Mato. It is a traditional Hanukkah song, and it is sung entirely in Hebrew. It is about the dreidel turning, and it will feature sophomore Mackenzie Guy playing the flute. Great job, section leaders. Great job, Mackenzie. Thank you. All right, at this time, I'm going to ask the Haydens to head off stage, and I'm going to welcome the sopranos and altos from the concert chorale. So, one of the things I love doing most as a director is splitting up the group into soprano, alto, and tenor bass choirs. It really helps develop their sound, to work as a section, as a team. And this song has been a challenge for this group. It's entitled Blow, Blow Thou Winter Wind. It is originally text by William Shakespeare and is arranged by Canadian composer Sarah Portel. It talks about the wind, the winter wind, how we may become sad, and then it goes, hey ho, hey ho. And we're talking about being jolly, even though sometimes it can be kind of hard during the winter season. So this is my concert cross sopranos and altos, and they're singing Blow, Blow, Thou Winter Wind. I will now welcome up the tenors and basses. So, I have 10 tenors and basses this year, which I think is more than last year. We're multiplying in numbers. They are doing a very solid job for only having 10, and they are also singing 3-part music. So there's about 3 on the parts. For this next song, we have a special guest. We're inviting Miss Catherine Spice. Mrs. Catherine Spice is a retired music educator and is very involved in the community, and she is a fabulous oboe player. So, she will be accompanying our tenors and basses on oboe. Yes. Alright. So, this song is entitled A Gift for a King. It talks about the wise men and their quest to give a gift for a king. And it's a little more on the sentimental side. I like to have my tenors and basses singing about feelings. It's always good. Alright. We're doing a quick tuning note and then we'll be right in. kind of shocked by how a lot of the students didn't know any of the standard carols. So one of my projects this year in my middle school and high school was to at least teach a few. Now we originally started with a list about 10, then I got down to about 5. We performed about 5, I think, at the tree lighting. Tonight we're going to perform 2. This first one is entitled Ding Dong Merrily on High. And it features some Old English, which has been a curveball. And it's a beautiful song. So, I think once Mrs. Kranz and Mrs. Hogan are all set, we should be good to go.
Ding dong merrily on high, in heaven the bells are ringing. Ding dong merrily the sky is lit with angels singing. Hosanna in excelsis, peace of heaven on below. As people bells be swinging, hallelujah, by priests and people singing. Hosanna in excelsis, great and good morning rise. Your hands will shine with happiness, great and beautifully bright. Your weavers are we singers. Hosanna in excelsis.
Forgot to mention while they're on the stage, we have Mrs. Dawn Kranz and Mrs. Hogan who just accompanied us on guitars. So round of applause to them. By the way, if you're looking for something to do tomorrow night, they are singing at Odd Fellows. Today's Tuesday. What time? 5:30. So if you want something to do, and they are an absolutely amazing group to watch. So, Thursday night, 5:30 at Odd Fellows. Our next song is going to feature some quartet. So, our next song is a piece arranged by British composer John Rutter. He's also a knight, for a fun fact. He was knighted by the Queen because he was such a good composer. And it will feature, it's entitled Candlelight Carol. It features Sadie Pearson, Emily Strickler, Madison Kaminsky, and Mackenzie Guy as our first quartet. So, and then we will have the tenor bass quartet, which is Hayden Haynes, Jonathan Ryan, Hayden Carpenter, and Hayden Galindo. The song is entitled Candlelight Carol, arranged by John Rutter.
Shine
carol. We got a lot of carols in a row. We got Ding Dong, Candlelight Carol, and next one, classic, Joy to the World, will also be accompanied by Mrs. Dawn Krantz and Mrs. Crystal. Joy to the World.
Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let every seed her King, let every heart prepare in room. And heaven and nature sing, and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let endless songs implore, while fields and floods, across hills and plains, repeat the sounding joy, the sounding joy, the sounding joy. Repeat, repeat the sounding joy. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of His righteousness, and wonders of His love, and wonders, wonders of His love.
This group behind me is such an absolute joy to work with every single day. They're my favorite class of the day. Don't tell me middle school classes. But they're my favorite class of the day. And they are always ready to come singing. They don't take this class because it's required. They take it because they love it. And you can tell by the way they sing. They put their full heart into it. So it means everything to me that they are here doing this. Our last song is entitled O Holy Night, and it is arranged by Mark Breimer. Now, the choir did this a couple years back. Now, this kind of shows the evolution of the choir over time. When I first started, we had a very hard time singing 3 to 4 parts. But now, the choir can sing up to 6 parts, and sometimes even 8 parts. Some of the stuff we're looking at for festival next year goes up to 8 parts. So, they're up for the challenge, and this is a classic arrangement of O Holy Night, but keep your ears open because it might trick you.
Holy night,
so at this time, hopefully Emily gets back for her, I would like all of our accompanist to come on stage. So if Mrs. Spice is still here, Mrs. Krantz, Mrs. Sullivan, Mrs. Panic, and Mrs. Sullivan, please come on stage real quick. Promise it won't be too long. Hopefully not. By the way, I said I'd trick you, right? Did I get to anybody? I heard some claps. All right. Like I had said before, we had quite a quick change with our accompanist, and when I went to Crystal, she immediately enveloped people and said, I will be there, I'll help you, and she's done such a great job just getting this group of people together, so thank you so much, Crystal. Now, both Crystal and Dawn have been huge mentors for me. When I came into this community, they said, you're the new choir director at Kingsford. I will help you with anything, and they have kept their word every single time, even when it's probably a little annoying. But I ask them all the time. I ask them for help, and clearly they are here. So thank you so much, Crystal and Dawn. Of course, to our lovely accompanist, Sandy and Jean, Mrs. Sullivan and Mrs. Panic. They did an absolutely amazing job today. Thank you so much for stepping in. I programmed some really hard music. I apologize. And then, last but certainly not least, Mrs. Happy Spice. Thank you so much for playing Oboe today. It means a lot. Everything you do every single day is inspiring, and coming in here is such an inspiration to all of these students, and it means the world to them. So thank you so much. Now, we are starting a new tradition. So I thought with the 100th year of Brighton Township Schools, it also means 100 years of choral singing at Kingsford High School. So, a few weeks ago, I started an alumni group on Facebook trying to spread the word of 100 years. So during the time of Kingsford High School, we have had chamber singers, concert crowd, mixed chorus, show choir, and heart and soul. Am I missing any? Probably more, maybe less. We've had 5 choirs. And right now, if we have anyone in the audience that is alumni, they are welcome to come on stage. Stand anywhere they would like, and we are going to sing the Kingsford High School alma mater and the fight song as a new tradition. So, if you'd like to come up, I got some music for you. Come on up. So, one of my goals as the choir director is to exemplify pride for my students. So, if you see our banner here, says, the voice of liberation, singing with pride since 1925, which is true, to almost 100 years. So, our next concert in 2025, we'll be debuting a 4-part arrangement written by John Cable, the past director. He wrote it down, and we will debut it. But for this time, I thought it'd be a nice tradition to sing our Kingsford High School alma mater, and then go into the fight song. Feel free to sing along.